about why Mac Jones will break out for Alabama football this upcoming college football season, right? Now, Mac Jones is a quarterback that I have a lot of respect for. I really have a lot of respect for the way that he handled his situation at Alabama. Now, Mac Jones has been on the Alabama football roster for a good bit. He's been on the team for a while. And prior to last season, before he got his opportunity to start, Mac Jones could have transferred. He could have did what a bunch of the college football world is doing, hitting the transfer portal when they don't feel they're going to have a good opportunity to start, right? These college football players nowadays, understandably, they don't want to wait. They don't want to sit on the bench and learn and things like that. They want to start right away. And a lot of these college football players, they don't have a lot of patience. So what they do is they hit the transfer portal and they go to another team that they feel gives them a better opportunity of competing for the starting spot and starting right away, right? Or as soon as possible. But when you look at Mac Jones, this is a guy who, instead of taking that route, hitting the transfer portal and transferring, this was a guy who said, you know what? I'm going to compete. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to learn under Nick Saban and the incredible coaching staff that he has. And I'm going to wait for my opportunity. And that's what Mac Jones did. Mac Jones is a definition of making the most out of the opportunities that you get, right? And that's what life is about. And life, things aren't always going to be handed your way. Mac Jones, he took his opportunity last year and he ran with it. And I think, without a doubt, in my mind, that he is going to be the starting quarterback for Alabama going forward. And I think that he can have a really big season. I think he's probably going to end up taking college football by storm this year, because I don't really think a lot of people understand how good Mac Jones is. Now, Mac Jones last season threw for 1,503 yards passing. He had 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions and completed 68% of his passes, right? Now, in most of the games that Mac Jones started, he threw 3 or more touchdowns in most of his starts, right? Now, he had some really good games. He had a really nice game versus Auburn, despite the fact that he threw 2 interceptions that somehow ended up going for pick sixes. Other than that, Mac Jones was lights out in that Auburn game. Now, he did make some mistakes, you know. But look, that was his first time being inserted into a rivalry game. That was a big game, right? And I felt that he performed really, really well. Now, if you get over the fact that he did throw 2 crucial pick sixes, you can make the argument that if Mac Jones never threw those pick sixes, without a doubt, Alabama probably wins that game, right? But I mean, for the most part, other than the few mistakes that he made in that game, he was lights out. He was really solid. He didn't have like a lot of overthrows. He was really accurate. And I mean, going into bowl season when they faced Michigan, right? This dude really showcased how good he can be as the full-time starter for Alabama. Now, with Mac Jones probably going to end up being the full-time starter, like I feel he will be, because a lot of people for some reason think that Bryce Young, the talented freshman quarterback that Alabama has, is going to come in and should be starting over Mac Jones. I don't think that. I think Mac Jones should be the starter over Bryce Young. Listen, I know Bryce Young was a high school phenomenon and things like that, but listen, sometimes these high school guys, they come out of high school and they're a little bit raw. They don't really adapt to the college game all that easily and things like that. Now, I know it's a couple of true freshman quarterbacks have came in over the last few years, like your Sam Howells of the world and things like that, and have a really nice season as a true freshman, but that's not necessarily the case for all true freshman quarterbacks. You get what I'm saying? So why would you choose to start a guy who's never started a college football game, hasn't even really had like we haven't even had no spring practices or anything like that. So why would you go ahead and start a guy in Bryce Young over a guy, Mac Jones, who is battle tested? He's played in some games. He's played in some rivalry games. He knows what it's like to play in the college football atmosphere. You get what I'm saying? Versus a guy who has no experience playing in a college football game at all. No experience at all. So it makes no sense to me why people feel Bryce Young should start over Mac Jones. Now, I get Bryce Young is probably the more, athletically talented player and things like that. He can do a little bit more than Mac Jones, but Mac Jones has more experience, and you know what you're getting out of Mac Jones. You don't really know what you're getting out of Bryce Young because he's never played a snap of college football. So if we're being brutally honest, I think Mac Jones should be the starter. And if Mac Jones is the starter, without a doubt in my head, he is most likely going to end up taking the college football world by storm. Now, I'm not saying he's going to end up being a Heisman Trophy finalist or anything like that, but I think Mac Jones is going to end up being a lot better than what a lot of people think out of Mac Jones. Now, a lot of people think that Mac Jones is a better version of A.J. McCarron, or he's A.J. McCarron 2.0, and I wouldn't disagree with that sentiment, right? But I think Mac Jones is a little bit better than A.J. McCarron, because when you look back at A.J. McCarron won some games at Alabama, but for the most part, I think A.J. McCarron was more of somebody who benefited from the Alabama system. Because, Alabama back then when A.J. McCarron played, they wasn't all air raid like how they are now. With Tua and company, Alabama kind of changed their offensive philosophy. They went from being a run-heavy team to now with Tua becoming the starting quarterback at Alabama during the time he was a starter at Alabama. They threw the ball a lot more compared to what they did in the previous years. Well, now you got Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is a little bit better than A.J. McCarron. I think you get a little bit more athleticism out of Mac Jones. And there's some throws that Mac Jones made this past college football season, a few starts that he had, that I never really saw A.J. McCarron make, right? So, listen, Mac Jones, I think, is a little bit better than A.J. McCarron. And a lot of people think Mac Jones is like a game manager and things like that, which is why, a lot of people want to see what Bryce Young is doing, things like that. But I think a lot of people really aren't giving Mac Jones the credit that he deserves. This guy, Mac Jones, has a lot of talent. And, look, it's not that hard to go in Alabama and produce. You arguably have some of the best talent in all of college football at every single position, probably one of the best offensive lines in college football, probably one of the best receiving corps in college football, one of the best coaching staffs in college football, if not the best coaching staff in college football, a talented group of halfbacks behind you. So, really, if you're the starting quarterback for Alabama, it's really not that hard to have success at Alabama. And when you look at Mac Jones, when you look at the wide receiver position, you got Devonta Smith, who without a doubt is going to end up being a first-round pick in the 2021 NFL Draft if everything goes to plan. He's going to be one of the best receivers if he does declare for the NFL Draft in 2021. Then you also got Jalen Waddle, may be one of the fastest wide receivers in all of college football, if not the fastest wide receiver in college football. And some people think that Jalen Waddle is faster than Henry Ruggs. And Henry Ruggs is a speed demon. We saw he ran out of combine. So the fact that a lot of people think Jalen Waddle is a lot faster than Henry Ruggs should scare a lot of people. Then you got Najee Harris in the backfield, and you also got one of the best coaching staffs in college football. So when you look at what Mac Jones has to work with, I think that should all contribute to Mac Jones having the breakout season this upcoming year in 2020. And Mac Jones, Mac Jones, in my opinion, played very well considering the situation that he was put in. This was a guy who was basically thrown, he was basically thrown in, named the starting quarterback, and basically one of the most important stretches of the season, when Alabama was trying to make a claim to why they should be in the college football playoffs in the middle of the SEC championship or the SEC championship picture and things like that, in the SEC West and things like that. So you look at the circumstances that Mac Jones was put in, I felt like he really did really well. A lot of the quarterbacks that get thrown into the situation that Mac Jones got thrown into this year, having to play in an intense rivalry game and things like that, wouldn't be able to do what Mac Jones was able to do. So I think Mac Jones going forward is going to be a really good quarterback for Alabama football this upcoming season. And look, I'm expecting Mac Jones to light it up this year. I think Mac Jones is probably going to end up throwing for like 30 touchdowns. He's probably going to have like 8-9 interceptions. He's probably going to complete over 6% of his passes, and he'll probably throw for 3,500 yards, somewhere around that range. And I think if Mac Jones has a really good season this year, he could end up declaring for next year's NFL Draft, unless he wants to come back and play for one more year under head coach Nick Saban, which I think is a probably more likely possibility and things like that. Because if he stays probably 2 more years, probably in the NFL Draft for 2022, he'll probably end up being a first-round pick. So this is a guy in Mac Jones who I think is a lot better than what a lot of people giving him credit for. And I think given the situation that he had to come in and was thrown into, with Tua Tagovailoa going down and having all that pressure on his back to come in and produce right away in the middle of the season, I felt he did the best he could, and he handled those situations and those circumstances really, really well. So I think that Matt Jones is going to end up breaking out for Alabama football this upcoming college football season. And let me know down in the comment section what you guys feel about Matt Jones. Do you guys feel Matt Jones is going to be really good? Do you guys think that Bryce Young should be the starter over Matt Jones? So let me know what you guys think. Make sure that you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content. And thanks for watching.